I'm Chris Edwards and welcome to this week's Tennis Warehouse vlog. Let's look at some new rackets from Yonex first up, and then we're going to have a look at some new strings as well for some other brands. Okay, first up from Yonex, an extension to their E-Zone line, and these ones are coming in at a killer price point. All three rackets we're going to look at. Great ways to save and get a quality, great playing racket from Yonex. So first up, I've got the E-Zone Ace here. This one comes pre-strung. So all you got to do is add it to cart, get it shipped, and you're ready to go out on the court. Okay, first up, this one has a 102 square inch head size, so very generous hitting area, and that's referring to the hoop here of the racket. It's nice and big sweet spot, very forgiving, especially with Yonex's racket shape. You notice it's squared off here at the tip, and that extends that sweet spot and gives you a really forgiving, easy to use experience out there on the court. And all these three rackets, very lightweight, very user friendly for that player who's just starting out and looking for a fun way to get out on the court with a great playing racket. Okay, this one comes in with a beam stiffness of 67, so that's pretty mid-range right there. Nice crisp feel, going to give you easy access to power. It's a lightweight racket. The balance of this racket is close to even, just slightly head heavy, about 3 points head heavy on this one, and that's moving some of the mass up in towards the hitting area of the racket, and that's going to keep the racket nice and stable at contact. And then this one, like I said, middle of the road RA on this one, and just a really easy racket to get around. Great one, I think, for that player looking for their first performance racket. Okay, let's jump into the E-Zone Feel now. Also a 102 square inch racket. This one doesn't come pre-strung, so when you order this racket, you will also need to order a set of string and also set the tension on it too. I'd recommend stringing this one probably in the high 40s to low 50s, so a 48 to a 52 pound range would be ideal. And I would throw something in here like a nice multi-filament or a Syn Gut. So if you put something in like Yonex Rexus, you're going to have a great experience in this racket. I'd put that one in right probably around 50 pounds. You'd be good to go right there. This one also a 102 square inch head size, a little crisper. This one a 69 RA here, so just a little bit more pop out of the beam there. And again, these are light, fast, easy to use rackets, close to even balance. Again, slightly head heavy on this one as well. And that's going to get some of that mass behind the ball, help you put it away. And then last but certainly not least, we have the E-Zone Game. And this one we're dropping down to a 98 square inch head size. So the head's a little bit smaller. It's going to offer you a little bit more control and feel for the ball, not quite as forgiving and powerful as those larger heads. And the reason for that is the main strings are a little bit shorter, and those are the main performance of the racket. And those are the strings that come from the throat of the racket here to the tip. They don't have as much room and forgiveness to them because it's a slightly more compact head. And so because of that, you get more control, more precision when you're going for your targets, but not quite as forgiving, not quite as powerful of a trampoline effect, if you will, as the ball comes off the racket. So a little bit more control out of the 98 here. Again, it's super light, fast, easy to use racket, great racket. If you're a beginner looking for their first sort of more control-oriented racket, this is the E-Zone Game, great way to go right there. Okay, let's have a look at some new strings. First up, we've got a new color of RPM Blast. This is a Tennis Warehouse exclusive in the orange. It does play a little bit more pocketing, so forgiving response than the RPM Blast in black, which is a very dead, muted, great playing poly if you're looking for maximum control and spin. This one, very close in the spin category, a little bit more of a forgiving response. This one so pockets the ball a little better. And interestingly enough, usually when I find you lighten up the colors of polys, you get a bit more pop, but you lose some tension maintenance. This one I found excellent control from it still, and it holds tension in my rackets better than RPM Blast Black. I had both strung up at the same time, same tension. This one held its crispness much longer. So love RPM Blast, and if you can extend the playability with the orange, I think it's a great way to go. So there you go. You can get that in sets and reels in 16 and 17 gauges. Last week or the week before, I can't remember which, we looked at the Polytour Strike in blue. We hadn't had much time to get out and hit it then. We've got some hours on it now. And again, this one, it's a lighter color, so I'm finding, again, it pockets the ball a little bit better than the gray and the black. I find the black to be the deadest, most muted. So if you're just looking to bludgeon the ball and you want a string to really rein in your power, I think the black Polytour Strike is a great way to go. The gray, a little crisper, and if you want something that's going to pocket the ball, again, still very firm, crisp playing poly, but a little bit more forgiveness, a little bit more pocketing, then the blue is a great way to go right there. And then last but not least, we've got some Luxilon Alu Power Vibe, which is a new forgiving poly for the Luxilon family. We've got it strung up in one of these Head Prestige Pros. Plays great in this racket. I think it's a great racket, a great string to put in a racket with a dense string pattern, or you really want to add a little bit more life to a very control-oriented frame like this. Great way to go with the Vibe. It's forgiving. It does notch a little bit. If you got it in a super open pattern, I think you're going to find a little bit of notching as you wear on it with heavy topspin strokes, but really nice playing string. Works great as a cross string with a firmer co-poly. So if you put regular Alu Power in the mains, you put some Vibe in the crosses, I think you've got a dynamite hybrid right there. So that's a new string from Luxilon. That's all I got for this week. Thank you so much for watching.